We're here today to talk to you about this ponytail palm.
It's a Bocarnia, right?
Yeah. Bocarnia
Recurvata.
Okay. All right. For all you nerds out there, that's what this is. Okay. So this plant came from IKEA. You can see here that when we got this plant, oh, look at this soil. Very, very dry. And you know what? That's great because these plants don't need a lot of water.
That's what this bulb is for, is to store water.
Yeah. So it can hold water for a long time. It's not a cactus, but it can go a very long time between waterings.
How do the roots look? Are they healthy?
Yeah. So here, let's take a look at this. When the roots are white like this, they're healthy. When you buy a plant, you want to be able to see that all the way around, and a little bit on the bottom is okay. If you got white roots poking out of the bottom,
That's nice.
well, yeah, but it also means it's been in here a long time because
That's a
now
fact.
it's coming out of the bottom of the pot. So this is pretty much ideal, the way that this plant is here that we got it.
And you'll notice that it's uniform in the way it's netted. The root system is very full and nice, and there aren't any brown patches or dead areas. So these roots are really ideal.
Okay, so one of the questions people might have about this is, does this need to be repotted?
Oh, people do always ask that, don't they?
Yeah, I don't think it does.
I don't think so either. It could stay in this pot for quite some time.
You usually like to repot stuff, so I'm
If
a
I
little
did
surprised.
repot this though, I would go and make an effort to expose more of this base, which could easily be done. You can see this, the plant will look nicer. The roots actually come out from below where they are. So this is potted a little deep, but won't hurt the plant as long as we keep it on the dry side.
Okay.
However, you could expose more of the base when you repot this.
Okay. Now, if we were going to put it in this pot, you know what I like about this pot? There's no holes in the bottom. That means when I put it on this nice table like this, and then I repot it into here and I water it, no water on the table.
Now, you know what I worry about this pot? There's no holes in the bottom. So this plant could easily sit in water and rot. And Bocarnia don't really like to sit in water, so we have to be very careful when we water it if we use this pot with no holes in the bottom.
Then are you going to remember that you did that? You're going to have to take it out to the kitchen and water it or something.
That's a fact.
You don't get
You'll
water on
actually
the
need a little
table.
saucer underneath, or better yet, have it in a pot, in that pot, just like it is now.
Oh, that's true, you could do that.
Yes.
All right, so a lot of times people have questions about these brown tips on the plant here, which are kind of right now in my face and tickling me. But these brown tips are not really anything to worry about. They're characteristic for the plant. If you want to get rid of the brown tips, just do this, okay? Just snap them off like that. Don't go into the green. If you go into the green, then it's just going to make another brown spot. So if this bothers you, you can just break these off right here, okay? What kind of light, people ask? Well, all plants like light, okay? So it's best that it is in a spot that gets some light in a window. However, this plant can endure for a very long time in low light conditions. So if you want to put something like this on your office desk, it can totally work there. It will grow more and be greener if it's in a window and gets more light, but it can survive in the dark.
And in the dark, in a darker room and with lower amounts of water, which it will need in a darker room, it will shed its lower leaves naturally and end up as a somewhat thinner plant. Not tremendously thinner, but somewhat.
Oh, one other interesting thing. People talk about this being a ponytail palm. Oh, one more thing. Poor plant. I keep taking out of the pot. If you notice here in the middle, can you help me with this?
Sure.
That there's a stalk that's missing right here in the middle. There's a little blunt spot.
There's a stump.
Yeah, okay. That's because this plant was taller and it did have one single tail that came up in the middle. But for some reason it was cut back, maybe for propagation at the nursery, and now it has several tails. So instead of one, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe 5 tails on this plant, which actually just makes it to me a little more interesting.
Probably cut back so it's easier to ship. That tall plant would have been a nightmare to ship.
So, all right, so this is Bocarnia ponytail palm, and that's a little bit how you take care of it.
So I give you a thumbs up for choosing a ponytail palm. They're easy, they're beautiful, and they last a long time.
They do. All right.